Hi guys, welcome back to Yorkshire Car Restorations and the MX5 restoration. In this video, we're not only going to carry on with the prep of the bodywork, but we're also going to show you how to deal with these rusty arches when welding's not an option. So let's grab some tools and let's crack on. So what we've got here is we've got a lot of surface rust on this wheel arch edge. Now, without replacing the wing, which comes to a small fortune, we're going to grind off all this rust. Anything we can't grind off, we're going to neutralise, and then what we're going to do is we're going to prep ready for paint, and then just before paint we're going to seal the edges, because the rust comes from the back of this edge this way. So if we get that edge sealed off, everything neutralised, all painted, we shouldn't have an issue with it again. So some of you have asked us about the tools we use. Now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the tools as we use them throughout the series and throughout the other videos. So keep your eyes peeled. The first one, belt sander, very useful tool. They come in two sizes, well they come in various sizes actually. What we use is we use the 20mm and the 10mm. Now I think these are Sealy Premier, they are the Sealy Premier, but you can pick up something almost identical to these for about £35 on eBay. So they're not expensive at all. To change the belts, really simple. Give it a good whack there. They do differ, but most of them are just a little lever system. And that's it. The belts are fairly cheap. I think they come in at £7 for about 10 of them. So not expensive at all. So we've taken all this rust off with a belt sander. This is an 80 grit sanding belt, by the way. This will take off any rust, but you do have to be careful because it can take metal off as well, which is where the sparks come from. So try not to be too, just take the surface off, just take the rust off and leave it at that. And from there, that leaves very hard edges of paint. because it does grind as opposed to sand. Now all we've done is we've used a dual action sander, and we've just softened those edges, ready for his primer. Soften those edges so that it won't show through as primer too much. It is a high build epoxy primer that we're using anyway. And we do get asked a lot as well about the clear liquid that we spray on it. Now this is Miparox. This is just a general rust inhibitor, rust neutralizer. And all we basically do with this is there is pitted pieces of rust still in that wheel arch that we can't get to without taking it right back and making the metal too thin. So that's where we neutralize it. That will turn, it'll turn the rust black, but give it a couple of coats, and then from there, before you apply primer, which in this case we're going to use 2-pack primer, not a rattle can primer, you do need to sand it back again, but it will still have penetrated that rust and neutralized it. If you've enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to leave us a like, press that subscribe button because it helps us bring you more content. Okay, so here we've got what looks like penetrated rust. Now that's rust that's gone all the way through the metalwork. Now what we have to do here, we do have to give it a bit of a tester. Tap it and basically see if it goes through. And if it does, what we've got to try and do is get as much of that rust out as we can, but neutralize it from this side and the other side. And what we're going to use is not metal. If you haven't got access to a welder, or the budget like this one doesn't stretch to replacing these wheel arches, which ideally they should have had, but the budget doesn't stretch there. What we're going to do is we're going to fiberglass this. Now the only way you can fiberglass is if you get all the rust out beforehand and then neutralize everything, and once you've fiberglassed you can then paint and protect it, and it should last you a long while if done correctly. As you can see, it is a hole. Now what we've got to do is we've got to get in there, we've got to pick out as much rust as we can, but we've got to get in that hole and behind here, which we can get inside here as well, and we've got to absolutely cover it in neutralizer. And from there we can then repair this section with the fiberglass, and then over the top of it we get filler, and we need to protect it, the rear and the front. Once we've done that, we're going to seal it at the front with primer, and at the rear we're going to stone guard it or Gravitex it, and then we're going to wax oil it as well. Well, that's this ground down, neutralised and filled with fiberglass paste. Now that should last a good couple of years. It now needs just a skim of filler, but we're going to do that just prior to priming the rest of the bodywork. But for now, we're going to crack on with flattening that paintwork down. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch us in our next video where we're going to finish the prep and try to get some primer on it. If you've enjoyed the video, leave us a like and smash that subscribe button. Until then, we will see you in the next one.